You got it. Reality radio done right. No nonsense, real and raw, just like you like it.
He's corrupt, he's inexperienced, and he lies.
Broadcasting from a broom closet in the Arizona Lotus Studios, it's Beef Vegan Presents.
Yo, welcome back to the show. Beef Vegan Presents live on Rock 102.1 KFMA, streaming worldwide at KFMA.com. Good morning, Rico.
Howdy, partner.
And good morning, everybody out there. Thank you guys for tuning in. We've got a grand show for you today. We're going to give away tickets for Incubus, your last opportunity to win them this week. And then I also have tickets to give away for Trivium. We're going to have film critic Herb Stratford in later on. We got lots of stories to cover from just the last 24 hours and a couple great stories that we missed this week. So we're going to have a lot of fun. And we're going to start off this Friday, July 22nd, with a good guy, J.J. Watt. Did you see this? You see this go viral?
No, I missed out.
You know, J.J. Watt, of course, is part of the Arizona Cardinals. We'll see how they do this year. They just re-signed Kyler Murray to a big, fat contract. He's the second highest paid quarterback in the NFL. So, yeah, congratulations, Kyler. And that's good. I think that's a good call. There's a couple scares when it comes to Arizona sports about star players potentially leaving. Kyler started that with, a rift amongst the organization. It seemed like he wasn't happy. He wanted to go. They were able to figure it out because we need a good franchise quarterback if we're going to have a contender in the NFL. That's just, how it works. We also looked like we were going to lose DeAndre Ayton from the Phoenix Suns for a while. It was some back and forth, and the Indiana Pacers actually put up a big chunk of change to acquire DeAndre, but they did it in a way that made it very easy for the Suns to say, we'll pony up the cash and keep him for at least half this season before we decide what we're going to do with him. And hopefully DeAndre grows up a little bit. And I don't mean that in a disparaging way, but the dude's addicted to video games and he's a kid. People forget he's like 7 feet tall. So immediately when you're a monster of a man, you're going to equate this physical being to being an adult man. But at the same time, he's only like 23 or something. He's 22, 23. He's still a kid and can be in many different ways. And
he's got some Benjamin Button stuff going on.
Right. But he's also like a premier talent. And I've really believed, and not that I'm a basketball expert, but we need a strong big man, a center, to be running for a championship, to be a qualifier to actually win a championship for the first time in franchise history. So I'm glad DeAndre is around, and I hope that him and Coach Monty Williams kind of hash things out and things are cool going into this next season. So fingers crossed on that. But, we have a lot of talent on the Arizona Cardinals. One of those all-star talents is J.J. Watt. Now, J.J. Watt has been a megastar in the NFL for a decade. Everyone knew about him, of course, from the Texans. So us acquiring him, even in the kind of twilight of his career, was still a big deal because he's still, he's still a wrecking house. He knows how to get down. He knows how to win games. And unfortunately, of course, sometimes he gets injured, but still, he is an all-star. And with that, he's an all-star on the field. He's an all-star off the field. He just kind of leads by example. So the other day, somebody tweeted that they were looking to sell a pair of Reebok, a women's edition Reebok shoes, size 9, that were limited edition J.J. Watt sneakers, right? And she was also a huge J.J. Watt fan. She also had an extra large Texans jersey of J.J. Watt's as well. So she was looking to sell both of those. And the reason why is because she was trying to raise money to pay for her grandpa's funeral. Now, she tagged JJ on Twitter, and when he saw this, he replied back with, "Don't sell your shoes and jersey. We'll help with the funeral. I'm sorry for your loss." So good guy JJ Watt saw this random fan of his, offering to sell up her personal goods just so she could pay for a loved one's funeral expenses. Mm-hmm. And he's like, no, fam, continue to be a fan of mine. I got you when it comes to the cost of that. And that's just that's great to see in your Arizona sports, to have like a content, a character, of these star athletes to be able to get back. Now, the irony is, the woman who's going to get the donation probably just stopped becoming a fan of JJ Watt when he got traded to the Cardinals. And he's like, I don't need this crap anymore. So I bleed Texan. But at the same time, still super sweet of JJ Watt. So
100%.
yeah, on this Feel Good Friday, I thought it'd be good to start off with a little feel good story.
I'm just glad JJ Watts had time on the toilet to scroll through Twitter. Just got very lucky,
It's got to be a massive toilet too. He's a giant of man.
Yep.
And other sports news, the Tucson Roadrunners announced their schedule for this upcoming season, which is super excited. So I was super excited about that. The Tucson Roadrunners coming back. I got to talk to him. I think I'm recording a podcast with Adrian and Chris. I got to email them back. I keep forgetting to do that. But I also got to double check with the boss to make sure he's bringing me back. I'm sure he is. But
Sure.
my boss and the game ops manager, Kristen, who you guys know from the podcast broadcast, is not coming back. She got a job out in Indio. Right by Coachella with a brand new hockey organization out there.
She left us?
She left us, which is unfortunate. Yeah, I was sad about that. And now I have another boss to be like the third boss in like 3 years or 4 years. And each one is different. Like the first person that hired me at the Roadrunners, his name was Mark. He was super awesome. He's like, I have a feeling you're going to be great at this. And I'm like, Mark, I do this for a living. Yes, I know I'm going to be great at this. And he really taught me the ropes and how to do the game hosting. And it was fantastic. And then the second manager I had, she was a little too much of a micromanager and she made it not fun. So much so that as much as I liked her as a person, I did not want to return if she was going to come back the next season. And fortunately, she moved on, or they let her go during COVID. And then they hired Kristen. And I was a little hesitant on Kristen, like, oh, what's going to happen now? Because I had such a terrible experience from the girl before. But Kristen ended up being amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And she set a high bar. And now I got to wait to see who's going to be the next game ops manager and see what kind of style that's going to be. And I'm telling you, every single time a new person comes in, initially they're like, we got to get rid of this beef guy. That's the first.
That's their first order of business.
In a way. And
guy.
Bob, the president of the Tucson Roadrunners, has to convince him, like, no, man, this beef guy's, yeah, he's good. He's good. He's good at what he does. The fans like him.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I know. So I have to like re-earn my job back every season. So
It's like being the badass in high school and going to a new high school and having to prove yourself again.
pretty much. And I'll tell you why, because these game op hosts, what you'll see and you'll find in professional sports around, the stereotype is get the hot chick, right?
Mhm.
And I understand, when you're talking about what do male sport fans love more than sports? Hot chicks. So you get
boobs.
you get a hot chick out there to tell them to make some noise. But the problem is, hot chicks don't necessarily have that outgoing personality that, say, like a fat, ugly dude might have. And that's my argument as to why I'm a good in-arena host. And hopefully whoever they hire as like the new game ops manager sees my potential before saying, we got to get rid of the chubby guy and get ourselves a hot chick. But it's
an ongoing battle.
It is an ongoing battle, man. But good morning, everybody. Keep those comments going. We got a running question on Facebook been going for. Yes, and Manny is definitely the BVP hype man. I appreciate you, Manny. OG streamer number one. Good morning, Anthony. Good morning, Todd. I'll probably get you on the stream. There's no Herb this morning, unfortunately. At the last minute, he had a family emergency. Hopefully everything will be okay. But he's unable to make it on the podcast broadcast. And today I was gonna have Chef Ryan from Casino del Sol, David, who I still haven't heard from since his audition. So I got to get David's information, and Herb. I was gonna have a jam-packed house, and it all fell to shambles, and now just Rico and I. So
yay!
But I do have a lot of shit to talk about, and we have a lot of fun to share with you.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, including websites and viral videos and stuff. So,
I can pretend to be a chef and a movie critic.
Well, please do.
So
we need
we'll
it.
be okay.
Rock 102.1 KFMA. We are on the podcast broadcast right now. You could join us in on the conversation on all of our social media pages. I'm talking on Facebook, Rock 102.1, at Beef Vegan, at Beef Vegan Presents, or on YouTube, youtube.com/beefvegan. Coming up next, we got a couple lists to share with you. Our science stories of the week. A man botching his proposal, and an AI program online that will draw anything you want in a couple of minutes. So I put in horse sex just to see what would happen.
I like how that's your go-to.
I know. Well, it's the second thing. First one was cat dancing on table. And I was like, that's too innocent. Now let me see horse sex. We'll find out what that looks like on the podcast broadcast next. Clear. All right. So Yeah, I know. I'm on brand.
You're on brand. This is true. I got mad at first. I'm like, that's on brand.
This is why game ops managers want to fire me. They're like, oh, okay, we got a radio guy hosting the games for family fun and entertainment. That's fantastic. Let me check him out real quick.
Right.
Okay, so coming up next, horse sex. Yeah, we need to get a hot chick who doesn't talk about this shit at all.
Like every Friday, he has an hour segment on AI-generated horse sex.
You want to see what it looks like? I didn't even look yet. So let's find out together. All right.
I don't know if I want to see robot dreams of horses having sex, or do I?
Well, yeah, let's see if we get I could tell right now. I can't even see the images, but I could tell that they did draw something. All right. Now, again, I haven't seen this yet. And I apologize ahead of time. And if we get booted off of YouTube immediately, it was a fun podcast. Thank you for checking it out. All right. Let's see what the AI shows us. Okay. There's a horse's head in the horse's ass.
Well, we're getting somewhere.
Oh, what is going on here? Oh man, that's just criminal. Yeah, see that? This is what the AI drew for horse sex.
Well, I guess we don't have to worry about the robots taking over for a little while.
Yeah, we got
still got another 6 months, I think.
Nah, Rico pulled this up, but this is going viral again, and so.
What, the AI generated images?
Yeah, this might be a different type of website, but all right, give me
something. I don't know, like
I'll tell you what. Let's play a game with the streamers. Okay, so the next 3 people to comment, just give me a random word, and then I'm gonna type in those words verbatim
about
into this
celebrity
program.
doing something, or like I did Thanos eating cheese, and I thought that was great.
Yeah, I know that was great. I actually wanted to print that up and hang it up on my wall.
That would be art.
Yeah, it's very artistic. But I want as random as possible.
Lactose intolerant.
Oh, you do beef vegan? Okay, yeah. I'll see what. It takes up to 2 minutes, but yeah, beef vegan is 2 random words. Duh. Yeah. So all right, and then taco armadillo, which is probably going to be similar to beef vegan, to be honest with you. And then say, what do you think of that, Rocky? Oh, that's JJ just. Rambling
gambling man.
All right, we're on here in 16 seconds. So let's do this week in science. Might as well. We'll play it safe. I just mentioned horse sex on the air, so we'll do some scientific stories, educate the masses a few. All right, Rock 1 2.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. We got our science stories of the week. So we want to educate you a little bit, inform you, if you will. Not necessarily educate you, but a new antibiotic developed by Rockefeller University in New York looks like it works so well and even kills bacteria that's resistant to other antibiotics. So that's what happened this week in science, which is a big deal. But in other virus news, this is bad news. All right, we have our first polio case in the U.S. documented for the first time in over a decade. Ooh. It was an unvaccinated New York man. See, this is the problem. This is before the COVID vaccination backlash. Like the Jenny McCarthy's out there have been adamantly opposed to vaccines for years, and people have been listening. And unfortunately, now it's creeping up on us. Polio is one of those diseases that we did eradicate through science. It worked. It worked for generations. In fact, my entire life, polio was never an issue. Was it ever an issue for you, Rico?
For like 2 weeks.
No, it wasn't. All right.
Then I bathed in oatmeal and I was fine.
No. Again, it's fake news. So either way, this unvaccinated man has polio, and polio is rough. It is not something that you want, and it obviously affected generations of people, and it was a curse. It was a plague. But science fixed it, and everything was all fine until people who don't have scientific degrees were like, nah, I don't trust it. And now polio is back in the U.S. All right, other science news. We discovered the first dormant black hole, meaning it's an orbiting star, but too far away to consume it. It's orbiting a star, but too far away to consume it. And in related news, I thought this was a porn site at first. I was disappointed when I clicked on it that it wasn't. There's a site called nameahole.com, and it lets you pay $10 to name a black hole after someone who sucks. Yes.
That's genius, actually.
It is.
There's a lot of black holes out there.
And I will give a high five to the first person who donates $10 to name the beef vegan black hole. All right, another related in space news, the James Webb Telescope recently got hit by a micrometeoroid. So basically like a pebble A rock?
That can do some damage, I bet, though.
Oh, yes. It did, actually. It damaged one of its 18 mirrors, and it shouldn't have a huge effect on the mission, but NASA is worried about bigger space rocks in the future, and they should be because, damn, rocks everywhere, right? And final story in This Week in Science, doctors may be soon able to screen for eye diseases like just by analyzing tears. So if you're emo, doctors might be able to check you out and be like, oh, you know what? You're not just emo. You got glaucoma. Researchers from the University of California in San Diego believe gonorrhea could be the driver of gene mutations that fight against dementia. Obviously, I just went from one story to another there. I was like, whoa.
There's a lot to take in.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I just blew my own mind. Let's unpack this,
please,
on the podcast broadcast. We have more coming up next on Beef Vegan Presents, including a man named Dick Shappy. I swear to God, it's a crazy story, but just his name alone makes me giggle, and I'm going to share that story next on Beef Vegan Presents. Don't go away. All right,
I'm still stuck on Space Pebble. You went on gonorrhea and...
Yeah, I know. Science really hits you in the face.
A lot of science.
Yeah, it's a lot of science all at once. It's accumulation of the entire week. And I'm sorry, I kind of save it and I put it under my tab This Week in Science. And I kind of blew my load on that one. And I apologize. But yeah, so...
Well, that's why we're naming a black hole after you.
Yes, you should. So. The Beef Vegan black hole definitely sucks. So, yeah, it started off, doctors may soon be able to screen for eye diseases by analyzing tears, but that's a separate story. And then running in that sentence, it goes ... And researchers from the University of California, San Diego, and of course, San Diego will be studying the effects of gonorrhea. They say gonorrhea could be the driver of gene mutations that fight against dementia. Meaning, does that mean I will never get dementia?
Science.
Because the gonorrhea. Okay.
I get it.
Okay, thank you. All right, let's check in with our Beef Vegan cartoon from AI. We'll see what happens. Oh, okay. It looks like, see, this is what happens when you Google Beef Vegan too. You get a bunch of inedible food combinations.
Think you want like a hybrid. You can't decide if you want to be a meat eater or vegan.
Right.
Like, here you go. Try it.
There you go. If I ever opened up a restaurant, expect shit like this on the menu. Ugh. I don't even know what. I don't even know. That looks
literally shit.
Yeah, it looks gross. Great.
My stomach is curdling just from looking at all this.
Right. Yeah.
Mongolian beef.
French fries with a side of shit. Great. That's what I am.
Very European.
Very, very European. All right, there's other things. We got viral videos to share as well. Let me get this. So I don't know if Rico, you used to be a fat kid, right? Okay, good. And you like going to the casinos as well?
I'm a ex-fat kid who loves casinos.
Have you ever lost money at the casino and decided to take your revenge up to the buffet? Essentially get your money back at the buffet, because I do that all the time.
No, but I think that probably would have helped.
Yes. So
I just jet for the parking lot and start crying in my car.
This is Fat Kid 101. When you go to the casinos and say you go on a cold streak and you lose a couple $100, that sucks. That's a feeling that you can't help. It hurts. It's a feeling inside your gut. You're like, God damn it. How do I get that money back? I can't go back to the tables. And then you look and you're like, $19.99, all you can eat. Oh, okay. Well, I'm about to eat $120 worth of crab legs. This is how I'm going to get my money back. I'll show you, casino. And I've done this before, and it's been fine. You know, in Vegas, I guess they're kind of used to it. And maybe the buffet is kind of like a loss leader, and they don't care. It's just anything to get you into the casino. They're going to make their money. But there's a woman who went viral on TikTok after she shared this story of her visiting an all-you-can-eat buffet. Check this out.
Oh, no.
Go all the way back to the top here.
I'm already excited for this.
The appearance. Tell me the wildest way you have ever been fat shamed.
I once went to an all-you-can-eat buffet, and when the bill came, I noticed they charged me twice. I questioned it and said why, and they said I ate too much.
The appearance.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So that girl said she got charged twice at an all-you-can-eat buffet because she ate too much.
I would have sued.
You would have sued, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And that's insane. That they're just like, no, there's no, you said all you can eat. I can eat more than the average person.
I would just kill to see the manager or whoever is on staff, like have to pull, everybody aside and be like, look at that. Look how much
Yeah.
she's eating.
Look at she's going back
my
again.
God.
You think she's done, or you think she'll go back up? There, she's getting up.
They're looking at inventory. They're like, yeah, we're losing a lot of money right now.
I know that there's been situations when I've been in a buffet that I've definitely probably been talked about behind my back, and they're just like, "There's no way he can go back for it." Fuck, he's going back.
When they man the stations with those chefs, and they see you like 3 times come up, they give you that little judgment eye. You know,
Yes.
like, again, huh?
Like,
Mm-hmm.
really?
Mm-hmm.
Really? You want a second piece of cake?
Just rub your belly all proud. Like, yeah, I do.
It's been a while since I've been to an all-you-can-eat buffet. Actually, since COVID, haven't been back yet.
Well, they all closed, and did they ever reopen?
They did.
Okay.
They did, but it's different. And I want to check out how they're doing it differently. But I was just at the casino here last weekend, and they opened up their buffet. So,
Of course they did.
yeah, it's slowly coming back. I didn't go and eat there because I was by myself, and I can't think of something a more depressing scenario. Yeah. Sitting by yourself at an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Can you go to a movie by yourself? Yeah, sure. Can you go to a buffet? No, that's the judgment.
Yeah.
You're in daylight. You're in like everybody's staring at you.
Yeah. How do you visually picture depression? That is a visual. All right.
Just on your phone with gravy fingers the entire time. Sad.
All right. Let's see what other viral videos I put together here to share with you guys before you get back on the air. You want to see the best flower man ever? Flower man?
Flower man?
Right. Yeah. There you go. Well, breaking stereotypes each and every day.
Florida flower man.
Yeah. Let's see if this guy is from Florida.
It'd be amazing.
All right. This is from. Oh, come on. This ain't. I don't want that chick again.
Tell me.
You've
been fat shamed.
All right, hold on.
In it.
Oh, yeah. Why don't you show that screen? Do you still have that, or did you post it?
Oh, I don't know. I think Manny saw it.
All right. Yeah, it's What If Stranger Things was Britain. Okay, here is. I'm going to pull this up. Say when the header on this is when you ask your cousin to be your flower man at your wedding. And apparently cousin did so well that it's gone viral. Let's check out what he did to make it so special.
Oh boy.
Your flower man at your wedding.
There you go.
He practiced.
Yeah. He knew the song and everything.
Good hip movement. Nice. There we go. He's doing a good job.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, he's taking away jobs from little girls, but hey.
Yeah, I know. There's
free market economy, bro.
Somewhere behind a bush, there's a little girl crying. Yeah.
I'm getting this money. I'm sorry.
Right. Tossing it out like it's dollar bills at a strip club. He's like, girl, you want some?
Watch this guy make a new living out of just going to weddings doing this now.
Oh, he dumped it on himself. All right, there you go.
Everybody's like, okay, cool.
All right, there you go. Best, well, that guy went viral just for doing that.
You ask your cousin, hey, do you want to be viral on the internet? Sure.
Let me show you how. All right, let's see. I got another viral video that I'll share with you real quick. Don't get ready for it. Dick Shappy. Let's see.
Shappy.
Mic'd up little leaguers will melt your heart. No, I don't want to do that one. Okay. Ooh, let's do this mashup. This is what I'm talking about. I'm a major fan of mashups, and not just because I was a DJ. I just always, I love odd combinations. Two songs that seem like they should never work in a million years.
There was that guy, Girl Talk. Remember back in like the early 2000s?
Yeah, no, he's a DJ. That's an indie artist. I've seen Girl Talk live.
He became the best, like well known.
Yes,
for a hot minute.
Yeah, it's a big party. I'm a big fan of DJ Cumberbatch or Cumberbun. Is it something like that? A huge fan, obviously, you could tell. But yeah, he's done several different mashups that I even like play in my rotation. One being Black Sabbath with September, which is like the ultimate mashup in my mind.
Uh-huh.
This is a mashup between Ronnie or James Dio, right, and Rick James. It's Rick James Dio, Holy Mary Jane. You guys ready to check it out? It's going to be fantastic. All right, so let's get into it.
I'm in love with Mary Jane.
Yeah.
She's my main thing.
Right?
She makes me feel alright. She makes my heart
Sing it.
And when I'm feeling low,
How low?
she comes as no surprise.
Okay.
Turns me on with her love. Takes me to paradise.
Yeah, baby.
Do you love me, Mary Jane?
How funny.
Do you?
Do you think you love me, Mary Jane? Don't you play no game.
Take it away, Dio.
I love her just the same. I love her, baby, just the same. The woman play no game. No.
Yeah.
I'm in love with Mary Jane.
Who?
I'm not the only one.
No, you're not.
Mary wanna play around. I let her have a fun.
Yeah.
She's not the kind of girl that you can just tie down. She likes to spread a love and turn your head around.
Such a great song.
Do you love me, Mary Jane? No.
Do you?
Do you think you love me, Mary Jane? Get away.
Yeah, there's Dio. Yeah, baby.
I'm gonna blast this in the car now.
I love my baby, yeah. My Mary plays no game. Yeah.
Not only was that a great mashup, but the amount of drugs that both bands were on is enough to take out an entire zoo.
Oh, yes.
My God.
What Rico's talking about, we're listening to a mashup. Yes.
You've been down too long in the midnight sea.
This is Dio and Rick James mashed up.
Shiny diamonds.
Yeah.
Like the eyes of a cat in the black and blue. Something is coming for you. Say. Da, 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 da,
Yeah, da, da.
Gotta get away. Da, 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 get away.
What a great mashup.
Yeah, loving that mashup. We're checking it out on the podcast broadcast, Rock 102.1, KFMA. Welcome back. That is Rick James Dio. Rick James Dio, Holy Diver Mary Jane, or Holy Mary Jane.
They don't make them like that anymore.
They don't. They absolutely don't. I love me a mashup, like I was saying on the podcast broadcast. Welcome back to the show. It's Beefika Presents. And we got to, since it was a mashup, I think I was able to play the whole thing on the stream without getting copyright
Yeah,
blocked.
loopholes.
Knock on wood. But yeah, it was fantastic. Let me tell you about this story about a strip club that got robbed recently. And, you know, obviously strip clubs, they pack a lot of money, you know. I'm not suggesting that you rob a strip club, but I can understand why they would be, you know, victimized or at least targeted in robberies. And there was a robber that came by in Providence, Rhode Island, who robbed a strip club and got $22,000 and that he got away with. And it was $22,000 all in singles.
Damn.
Yeah. And that's got to be heavy. That's not a light kind of jack move, you know. That's got to be good 50 pounds.
That's a lot of logistics.
That's 22,000 singles.
That's a lot.
Yeah, right? Now, while at home, club owner Dick Shappy received a call from his manager reporting that he'd been robbed at gunpoint. Now, Dick Shappy said that the manager was at the club just before 3 p.m. when the burglar, who seemed familiar with the club, forced the manager to open up the safe and hand over the bag filled with cash. And Dick Shappy said that along with the money the manager was counting at the time. So like literally he had a handful of ones that he was counting out and he's like, I'll take that money too. So Dick Shappy said the bandit made off with $22,000 all in singles and many likely covered in glitter. That's what Dick Shappy said. So I only wanted to read that story to you because A, it's a stupid criminal story, and B, it's a strip club owner named Dick Shappy.
It was meant to be.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
There was no other like business that he could have opened at all.
No lawyer firm, no doctor, not a dentist.
Yeah, nobody wants Dick Shappy's life insurance.
Mm-mm.
No, but they'll go to Dick Shappy's strip club all day long.
Yep.
All right, we're going to keep the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. We got more, including your beef tip, coming up after music from Rob Zombie and Green Day. So keep it right here. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. I'm a child. We've already established
There
this.
was a couple in England. I saw an article a long time that made me laugh. They named their kid, their last name was Peacock, and they named their kid Drew.
Drew Peacock?
Yep.
Yeah.
Drew Peacock.
Drew Peacock.
Poor guy. Poor lad.
Yeah. I talked about a joke yesterday that that went over my girlfriend's head, you know, because she's a preschool teacher and she was teaching her students. They're all 3-year-old girls and they're adorable.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them are smart. There's this one little girl who's like just brilliant. She saw powers once, right? This girl saw powers once sitting in my car because I stopped by and dropped my girlfriend off some food or something. And through the fence, she saw Powers in the car and Powers like, you know, waved.
Mm-hmm.
And then like 2 days later, she started talking about Powers to my girlfriend saying, hey, you know, like, when's that guy coming back with Brad with the misshaped glasses, the one that had the circle and the square.
Oh, funny.
So the glasses that Powers wears, right?
Right.
A lot of time people don't even pick up on. In fact, it took me weeks before I
Like,
realized.
Wait a minute. Yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was able to see that from like 10 feet away through a window.
damn.
And for only briefly, I'm talking maybe 10, 15 seconds, she looked at this guy. And she was able to describe him to a T.
Damn.
Yeah, she's brilliant, right? So the other day, she's got picked up from preschool and she's on the way home with her mom. And her mom's like, hey, so what'd you learn today? And she learned about planets. And Mary, my girlfriend, was talking about how, you know, there's she was talking about Neptune and Uranus and talking about how they're inhabitable because the atmospheres are filled with gas. And she goes, I learned about Neptune and you can't live on Neptune because it's filled with gas, just like Uranus. And she didn't even realize. I don't know if she did realize, and she's a fucking genius and she's going to be running the world here soon.
I was going to say.
But her
Clever.
mom's super smart, obviously, because it's genetics, and she's cracking up about this. And she texts my girlfriend this,
Yeah.
and my girlfriend's like texting back, like, "Yeah, we talked about planets today." And I'm like, "No, you don't get what just happened here. Like that's fucking
Brilliant.
hilarious." Yeah, like I wrote it down as a speed break. I'm like, I'm gonna borrow that one.
Because it's full of gas.
She's 3 years old. She can't sue me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's
That's amazing.
yeah, I'm sure. And then Christina said, hey, past preschool teacher here. The stories I have on, what comes out of kids' mouths are hilarious. Yeah, well, I mean,
It's
obviously,
classic.
yeah, that was a TV show. The shit kids say.
I love it, dude. Like, I remember there's a thing yesterday that somebody posted online. I think it was like Boozy Bitch or whatever on Instagram.
Yeah.
And they had this girl that was like filming herself in the mirror, and her two kids were in the room, and she was like kind of sad looking. The kid goes, Mom, why are you sad? Is it because you're poor?
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
And she's like, okay, honey. And he's like, is it because you're poor? They always repeat it. And you're just like, God. She's like, yes. Honey.
It's because I'm poor.
Because you're broke and poor and stupid looking. You're
And
like, these kids will just dig into your soul.
Yeah. And you keep on, spending all my money.
They don't care. It's like, it's funny when you come across like your friend's kid or whoever else in public and they just run up to you with like snot down their nose and they go, hey, mister, you have a funny face.
Yes.
And just run away. And you're like, if only I had that confidence.
Yeah, Powers has stories like that for days with his girlfriend's kid.
No, I bet.
Yeah, talking about like he took off his hat once and he's like, ha ha, you're bald, you're fat, like pointing out all these
you're
things.
Fat and bald.
Yeah. Like, shut the fuck up, kid. Yeah.
I'm gonna punch you, but I can't.
All right, let's see. I'm looking for your Uranus joke, JJ. Sounds like the world needs a new Jimmy Kimmel fat kid. What was the kid's name?
Oh, from the Man Show back in the day, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about
old school.
Yeah, his name is, I know this because I am a fan of his, and I was.
This is not Andy Milonakis, by the way, somebody else.
Yeah, right. It wasn't Andy Milonakis. A lot of people think that kid was Andy Milonakis, but
it's funny.
Yeah, the fat kid. Let's look it up. Are you sure it wasn't Andy Milonakis?
Positive, because it was a different fat kid.
Okay, Man Show fat kid.
Where is he now?
Okay, Man Show boy is up on Google. Let's see. Who was the kid that was the Man Show boy? Aaron Hamill. Yes, Aaron Hamill, who was 11 years old at the time. Was hilarious. They had him say all these different things. Had a heart attack and died at the age of 16. Jesus.
Really?
No, I'm just
making that God.
Up. Oh, he's super fat, dude. So I know. I didn't mean to get you all sad.
It made me really sad. Yeah. Afterwards, I got over it like in 2 seconds.
Speaking of fat kids, the new study says cigarette-style warnings on candy bars can drive down obesity. But I don't know. I mean, they've had these warnings on cigarettes for a long time. Even in Canada, if you bought cigarettes in Canada, it's literally that poison symbol, like the skull and crossbones saying, hey, you smoke these, you will fucking die. And you're like, I'll take 2, please, because I get $3 off. But experts believe that putting warnings on candy bar wrappers could keep customers from eating them. Now, researchers from Cambridge University found that graphic messages on wrappers led 7 in 10 people to eat fruit instead. The study follows ideas for warning labels on soda and alcohol. But Big Candy is going to pay and lobby against this. So I don't know.
Sugar money.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll be alive to see a Snickers with a warning on the back saying, want to die soon? Why wait? Snickers.
You have a Brian right there in Costa Rica. He's talking about the cigarette packs. It was the same in, I think, Mexico, even like Bali, overseas, anywhere. They have those extreme images on. I think for candy bars, that might be a bit extreme, but maybe not because sugar is deadly, but cigarettes make sense.
No, but you're right.
But they're ruthless with their imaging.
Costa and Canada as well has those images. I forgot about those images, but yeah.
Bloody, gurgling.
Most places around the world will have those. I mean, obviously there's the big tobacco here in the United States and our capitalistic society. They're able to just shovel money to politicians to keep that type of imaging off and keep a cartoon camel on our packs of cigarettes. But yeah, everywhere else in the world will show diseased lungs and all types of gross shit. And so after you see that, you still kind of feel like you need a cigarette. Yeah.
Just from the trauma from watching that.
Yeah. So
smoke.
Yeah. There's no winning, basically, is what I'm saying. KFC is testing new chicken nuggets that apparently taste more like their original recipe fried chicken. They'd replaced the popcorn chicken they've been selling off and on since 1992. And this is a direct response to Gen Zers who refuse to eat chicken off the bone like little bitches.
What?
Yeah, apparently Gen Zers.
We're done.
Yeah. You think we're done?
Yeah, that's it. That's the end times right there. You be a true savage. You got to eat off the bone, man.
I can't. Yeah, I know. There isn't anything that makes me feel more like a man than grabbing a carcass, a cooked carcass. And that's why I was so excited about eating a turkey leg at the Renaissance Fair until I found out it was emu.
Allegedly.
No, it is.
I don't know.
No, I've researched it.
I did too. There's a lot of contention going on.
Yeah, no.
Contention.
It wasn't a legit turkey leg. It wasn't, dude. I'm sorry. We ate emu. And it was
still a bone, still some meat.
Yeah, but a lot of ligaments too. Like, fuck that. I'll never do that again. Anyways.
Bring your own next time.
Yes. That's why I like chicken wings. I like getting whole chickens because I do like to feel like a carnivore every now and then. And just like, oh yeah, down to the bone.
You just lost all 0.5 of your vegan fans.
Approximately 250,000 people in the U.S. are married to their first or second cousins. This is a fact. Yes, many of them hooked up on inbred farmers only, actually. So, that's a website out there if you're looking to be a cousin fucker. But that's a stat in America, 250,000 people. Yeah. Now, luckily, it's only 125,000 couples. So let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Good job on the math.
Thank you. I'm pretty good at math. What are the apps that you use every day?
Google Maps, Instagram.
So what are the apps you can't live without?
Google Maps, Instagram.
Okay, just those two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I mean, I follow you on Instagram. I know for a fact. 27% of Americans say they have over 30 apps on their phone.
A ton of apps.
But just because they have them don't mean they use them. Over half the folks say that pretty much they use like 10 apps or less. So I'm asking you guys on the stream, how many apps you use on a regular basis? Not surprisingly, social media, including Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok, are among the most popular apps on America's phones. Those are the apps that we're using most. Okay. 45% of users say they couldn't live without their social media apps, with the number higher for folks in Gen Z. You know, Gen Z, those people who are too chicken shit to eat meat off the bone. And people have become so dependent on apps that 47% admit they'll spend more time on apps than the internet. So apps took over. Apps killed the internet, bro. Is that a possibility? I know it's both like two and the same in a way, but in a way it's not. Over half use apps for business purposes, but researchers, but regardless of how important they are, don't expect people to shell out money for them, because 39% of people say they would not pay money for an app. What was the last app you spent money on?
There's a few image editors and things like video editing stuff I like to use, and it's like worth shelling out money, or like a fitness app or something like that. But it's so rare. You're right. It's like nobody really wants to go through the process of paying for an app. That's why there's like in-house advertisements all the time. You just deal with that.
There's one app that I do spend money for annually, and it's my personal trainer app. And I haven't necessarily worked out in a long time, but I still renew
throwing
it.
away money just for the feeling.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's like buying books and not reading them.
It's there when I need it.
Yeah.
Okay. I rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Sure.
But that's the only thing I spend money on. Obviously, the apps I use, social media, of course, for the show. And I guess what's an app that I use that is not show related?
I'm so cheap. I haven't paid for Spotify Premium yet. And I'm like, I'll deal with the Home Depot ads. I don't care anymore.
Well,
I jam out to those just for irony.
Yeah, well, it's like radio.
Right.
I actually pay for Spotify Premium, and that's why I could pull up, songs on the fly. But I love it. And as a DJ, I'm telling you, man, like when I was doing DJ gigs, and I haven't done them in a while, people would come up and be like, "Hey, do you have this song?" I'm like, "Oh, actually, I have every song ever recorded in the history of man. You fucking name it." Why? Because I have the internet. I have YouTube and Spotify.
I wish you had like a fake Creative Vinyls just to sort through to make it look legit, but you're just like, boop.
Yeah.
Just hit it.
Christina loves TikTok. That's all her BTS comments.
You doing some dances?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me see your TikTok dance for sure.
Eating some Tide Pods.
I do not pay for OnlyFans, and I do not have the app. Okay.
Aren't you
I have
local, B?
the URL. Thank you, weirdo. I mean, unless they got a way to hide the OnlyFans app. But no, I do not. I barely even check out OnlyFans, only for show research. How dare you?
I can vouch for him.
Yeah, thank you. We are looking for OnlyFans models of the week. In fact, our streamer friend, Laura reached out to me not too long ago and said I should do an OnlyFans model of the week locally, because she has an OnlyFans. Laura has an OnlyFans, but she didn't send me like a URL or nothing like that. But yeah, we might have Laura on one of these times to help promote her OnlyFans if she wants. And she wants to. She was reaching out to me just to let me know that she would love for me to talk about OnlyFans or promote it. So streamers, if you want to like support her content, I don't know. Actually, I don't know her screen name or username. So I guess there's really no way to find her on OnlyFans. But yeah,
I think we should have a competition and see who can sell more socks. You or the OnlyFans models?
OnlyFans models all day long, man. Guys are creeps. Guys are creeps.
Or do like a double blind test. See if they can tell if it's your sock or theirs. That would be funny. That's very Howard Sternish.
That is very Howard Sternish. Yes.
Ideas.
All right, let's see. You should panic. Oh, speaking of which, I had a random, well, I talked about this on the air a little bit, but I had a random message on my Facebook page where some guy just put Brad Furbutt, LOL. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is like only a handful of people called me this back when I was like 10. It turns out this kid messaged me back and he's like, yeah, it was your buddy John's brother's Justin's friend. And we went to Big Surf, called you Furbutt. I'm like, oh, yeah. Go fuck yourself. Thanks for reaching out randomly. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. It's 9:43 on this Feel Good Friday. We've just been chilling on the podcast broadcast, covering a bunch of stats and facts just to wrap up this week with a bow. Next week's going to be fun as well. We're going to be loaded up with guests all weekend long. But let me get into this next story here. Sony somehow thinks that they helped the success of Top Gun Maverick. This is one of those scenarios, and this is only in America. Somebody will take credit for someone else accomplishing things. I've had this done to myself, and hell, I've probably done it myself too. But an exec for Sony made an eyebrow-raising leap by connecting the success of Top Gun Maverick to Venom 2. All right, wrap your mind around that. The co-president's name is Stanford Panitch. And he said that Maverick benefited from Sony taking its shot with Venom, calling their film the start of a story that allowed Maverick to do the kind of business it did.
That's a reach.
Super reach. That's a reach around.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is oh, you sure it wasn't because it's an iconic franchise and the first sequel in 30 years with the world's biggest movie star and hottest up-and-comer? And graphics and whatever. Right. I mean, there's a lot of variables that made Top Gun Maverick a success, and it doesn't seem like Venom 2 would be on that list at all.
Venom did not have great balls of fire in that movie.
No,
sorry.
Now, but he is patting himself on the back and Sony on the back at the same time for taking a big chance by putting Venom 2 in theaters on October 1st, which made $213 million, which is good money on a return. But I think the budget was pretty high on that, so I don't know if the percentage really worked out. Now, it's great that theaters have opened back up, but it is worth noting that other films could also make the same claim, such as Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Seven Rings. That movie came out in September, a month before Venom 2, and made $224 million. Ghostbusters Afterlife came out in November. That made $129 million. Oh, did we forget about Spider-Man No Way Home? Right? Which Sony kind of put out, but at the same time, it's a Marvel film. That made $804 million. And in March of 2022, The Batman was released, $369 million. These are all films that made more money than Venom 2 and should be credited to the success of Top Gun, if anything. Now, Top Gun is the second highest grossing film of the year, making $618 million domestically, but still not more than Mr. Peter Parker with $804 million domestically for Spider-Man No Way Home. So, I understand you want to celebrate successes of Top Gun, and you should, but definitely do not give Venom 2 any credit for that whatsoever. Let's wrap things up with your beef tip right after these words. Keep it right here. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. Clear. Yeah, that was insane. I'm seeing that
that's hilarious.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Very butthurt executive. Well, if it wasn't for Venom, then you guys would have tanked for sure. How drunk are you right now?
Yeah, super drunk, right? It was my decision. Okay.
Welcome, Sony.
That's good. Did you birth Tom Cruise too?
Right.
Speaking of mustaches, I told this to Rico earlier. Miles Teller just said in an interview that he had to shave his Maverick tattoo or mustache off immediately after they done filming and they wrapped because his wife hated it and just was not a fan of the mustache, which is odd because that is apparently a trendy look this summer. So the 80s have come back in full force, and I can't wait for the 90s to come back in full force, I'm telling you the 90s is, because my daughter's wearing baggy jeans, and that's all the evidence I need to know that the 90s is coming back. And hopefully musically that means the 90s will come back as well. And there are a lot of bands that aren't getting heavy rotation on the station just yet, but are carrying the mantle as far as rock and roll and pushing it forward, that are bubbling up to the surface. And I can't wait to play those bands again. I rock out to them all the time when I'm driving around myself. But right now, amongst the 20-year-olds, the Gen Zers, they're all about, it's a fucked up generation. They're all about these mullets and mustaches and, all the goofiness that was the 80s. And growing up a 90s kid, I always looked at the 80s with not rose tinted glasses, with the shit tinted glasses. It just looked worse. Even seeing these throwbacks, Stranger Things, I'm like, ugh.
You hate the 80s that much?
I grew up through the 80s, obviously. I
I
had a
know.
mullet. I didn't look good in it. You know, I never was.
So you're taking out your anger because you didn't look good in a mullet?
I just, in retrospect, I think all the fashions about it, the super high shorts, the socks, everything about the 80s, the hairstyles,
Yeah.
not even just the mullet, all of the hairstyles and the facial hairstyles. I mean, again, that was a generation that was ravaged by crack and AIDS, and it reflected in the style then. Why bring back that decade? That was not a great decade.
Because the music.
The music sucked too.
How dare you? How dare you, sir?
Okay, name some.
Duran Duran, Eurythmics. I can think of a lot. I just can't think right now.
You would have to cherry pick.
You just go type in the best of the 80s. Michael Jackson, his greatest. Come on, dude.
Doesn't matter.
Great decade for music.
I would say that the music in the 80s, iconically speaking, when talking about timeless songs, there are some that definitely broke through, but there was a lot of shit amongst that minefield, right?
Every decade.
So I would say that the 90s music, there's more timeless music created in the 90s and 70s than the 80s. That was like a lull when you're talking about like peaks and valleys.
Well, you had that disco high still going on, and then just kind of the aftermath.
I know I'm making Christine mad with this,
like, shut up,
but
making me mad.
And it's fine. I understand that it's in style now to enjoy the 90s or the 80s, I should say. But I just don't think their music as a whole holds up. And yes, there were definitely some breakthrough
okay to
acts.
be wrong. It's okay.
I'm not though. Yes, Beastie Boys were created and released some great music in the 80s. That was fine. And then they also did well in the 90s. In fact, Paul's Boutique came out, 1991? That was, well, a lot of people would argue, their best album.
Well, the 80s was all about the affluence. You had the arena rock, like the White Snake, all that kind of stuff too, that kind of merged into the 90s where everything kind of got dark again, and the grunge kind of emerged from that ash pile.
Right.
But at the same time, I mean, it was a great decade for like synth, like computerized.
No, yeah, fuck synth.
Well, that's
synth,
subjective.
Yeah,
I like it. You don't.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And there is no wrong answer when it comes to music and taste. I understand that. If you love it, you love it, and that's great. My personal preference, fuck synth, fuck that entire decade.
New Order, Blue Monday, come on, that's a hype.
Okay, yeah, but like I said, there's always going to be some exceptions.
Sweet dreams of me. That doesn't get you going.
No, now actually, I like that song before you started singing it. Now I hate it. So
sorry, Annie Lennox.
All right, our running question today that we asked is, if you won the Mega Millions jackpot, tell me what the most irresponsible thing you'd spend your money on is. All right. And there's tons of comments here on the Facebook page. Let's see. I'm just going to go through them. Curtis said the CERN hand drum collider, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And run it until I get superpowers like on the Flash TV show. It's possible. I seen it on the Flash TV show. All right. Lane said weed. Yeah, that'd be great. Just a room full of weed that you could dive into like Scrooge McDuck in DuckTales. That'd be great. See, Cassie said remodel my house to look like a Gothic castle. Ooh, that'd be nice to bang in.
Or just buy a castle.
Yep. See, Christopher wrote private concert from Ozzy and Rammstein. Yes, and personal appearance from The Undertaker. Okay.
All right.
That is,
hell yeah.
I feel like Christopher has thought about this once or twice before.
I just want to see them all hanging out in the green room. That'll be its own TV show right there.
Yeah. Frank wrote a Nickelback CD. That would be wildly irresponsible because you could stream them, Frank, and listen to them here on the station. Timothy said toupee. Monty said pay someone to roll my blunts, Snoop Dogg style, which I'm down with that too. It could be a hassle, but I do enjoy the art of rolling. So it seems like as much as Snoop Dogg, has the luxury of having somebody right there to roll his blunts, it's still fun every now and then. I would hope that he elbows the guy to the side and said, you know what? I got this one, fam.
He's like all confused. Like, what do I do now?
Yeah. Michael said a weed farm, go all like South Park on it. Warren said follow Mudvayne on tour. Okay, yeah, but why would you follow Mudvayne? Because I have a feeling they do the same set every single night. You know, they might switch it up, but they're not like a jam band. Like people follow Fish because no song is the same, right? And I can understand that. So every night it's a different show. But if you're following Mudvayne, like following Smashing Pumpkins, when we saw Smashing Pumpkins, I guarantee you that set list is their set list for 2022. So if you saw them in Tucson, you basically know exactly what they did in San Diego, right? Am I being too pessimistic today? I don't know. It's Friday. It's a feel-good Friday.
Feel-good Friday.
Let's see. Visit my friend in Russia minus the pot stash. Yeah, that's a good call, Kathleen. They'll never let you out. Manny said he'd buy a tank. Fuck yeah. Yeah. A tank would be awesome just to drive around the neighborhood.
Just get pulled over. You're like, oh, sorry, my bad. I didn't know I couldn't do this.
Yeah. Lauren said I would commission someone to paint a giant portrait of Hannibal and Buffalo Bill in my living room.
I can do that for you.
Yeah, nice. Well, she don't have the money yet. Let's hope she wins the lottery. Tony said, I would set up a homeless shelter to get these Blues Clues smokers off the street so we can all breathe again. Now, that seems, I guess it's responsible and irresponsible at the same time because you can't make a profit off of that. And that's why rich people don't do that. But at the same time, what a great service that you'd be providing here, Tony. Yeah, I mean, honestly, every single time I drive under that bridge on Grant, I witness someone smoking drugs. Right there in the open, in the shade. And I was asking Powers, because there seems to be some like high school politics amongst the homeless people. You can see that there's like the cool kids and the outcasts. And it's weird too, because you know, all of them at one point were probably cool kids in high school before they made terrible life decisions and became homeless. You don't see too many nerds there on the street smoking heroin, but
bunch of nerds. What the hell you doing, nerds?
Yeah, no, nerds are more responsible than that. Jericho wrote hire Green Day to play at my birthday party. So yeah, I would have throw a party, hire some of the best bands.
I would hire them just to fire them. Show up. Hi, Green Day, you're fired. I hate your music.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
And then
wake me in September.
Anthony said Private Island, which would be great. And Nick said buying a radio station, which I've fantasized about all the time, to be honest with you. And Nick wrote Hookers and Blow, which I fantasize all the time, to be honest with you. And there you go. That's just some of our Facebook comments.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, right.
Yeah. You did say, Anthony said, I sent you a video of those tweakers all lighting up in broad daylight. Yeah, it happens all the time. We see it all the time.
All the lizard folk.
And the thing is, it's not just Tucson. Obviously, the epidemic is growing at large sums all throughout the nation. Some places are just like it's uncontrollable. So there's no answer to what you can do. Because what can you do? I mean, there's nobody here on this stream, including my Rico and myself, that has an answer for the homeless issue. That is humane. Just to stop you guys right there.
The South Park solution
is, remind me.
Send them to California.
Well, they're there. They're already there.
I know. Just like get them on a bus. Send them to California.
All right. Yeah. I mean, that's been a solution. I think there was a story. Someone got busted doing that. What Texas has been shipping their migrants to DC or something on
they
bus.
got some issues.
Yeah. Okay, so JJ wrote, when I went to Mission Street in San Francisco like 25 years ago, there were people shooting up dope, smoking crack and meth in the street, and kept it confined to Mission Street. So it'd be nice if the junkies could keep it somewhere. In Phoenix, they did that too. And it wasn't Mission Street, but they had basically a block that was like for homeless people, and Phoenix police would round up homeless people and ship them to that block and be like, you guys got to stay in this region. And there's a homeless row, and it's crazy. Right. But the problem is people were saying that was inhumane. So they kind of stopped doing that. Now it's kind of spreading around. So yeah, I don't know. It's something I contemplate from time to time, but I don't try to like waste too much time on it because no one would listen to me if I had the solution anyways. But I can't think of a great solution for how do you address the homeless problem. I know one thing, if they keep raising rents on shitty ass apartments, it's only growing.
Well, that's the thing with the economic disparity now. It's like the guy.
We're on now. We got to end a Feel Good Friday with a feel good note. We were debating on the podcast broadcast how to solve homelessness. I don't think we're going to get to that answer today, though. We ran out of time. Sorry, homeless people. We were so close, but now it's 9:58. So, you understand. All right, let's get into your beef tip. Our beef tip today is, I wasn't even ready for it, Rico. Our beef tip today, drum roll please, is, common myths about diets. Here's some myths about diets, about diet and exercise. Like, contrary to popular belief, coffee does not stunt your growth, so drink away. Eating eggs does not cause high cholesterol, so double up on that. Getting 10,000 steps per day isn't the magic number to be healthy. In fact, actually, that was just some kind of selling technique of a book in Japan, and somehow that became urban myths. The only way to really be healthy is diet and exercise, and extreme exercise. Not extreme like parkour, but to actually put in the effort. So don't let these myths get in the way of your healthy lifestyle. Definitely, learn about whatever diet you're going to do and see if it's right for you. And for those of you who have been preventing yourself from enjoying the delicious eggs because of your cholesterol, eat away, baby.
You're not taking away my eggs, bro.
No, I'm saying for those who haven't been eating eggs, eat eggs again. My beef tip to you is enjoy eggs. Get that omelet. It's fine. Get that, I'm going to get an egg sandwich today. And I'm going to say, hey, does that usually come with 2 eggs on it? Give me a third egg because it doesn't affect my cholesterol.
Are you sponsored by Big Egg today?
I wish.
Maybe.
Yes. All right. That's all the time we have for the show today. Thank you guys so much for listening. As always, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube page, youtube.com/beefvegan. Riley's up next. Enjoy your weekend. We'll be back Monday morning. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later.
When you wish
Peace, guys. Thank
on
you.
a side of beef, soon will come and
Have a good
end
weekend,
to all
everybody.
your grief. But if you've been mean or kind of bad, I will knock out all your teeth.